dispatcher, you may think you know the right questions to ask, but in today's video, I'm going to talk about the questions that you need to be asking, which actually lead to success. I'll compare the questions that 97% of aspiring freight dispatchers ask, and I'll talk about the questions that actually lead you to success. So what I'm starting to see in business is 97% of people that come into any business ask questions that they think will lead to success, but those are only the basic questions. And then 3% of people actually ask the questions that will lead to success. So that's why any business that you start, most people will fail. Just being straight up, freight dispatching or any other business, I believe that's why most people fail, because they're asking the wrong questions and they're thinking about the wrong topics that won't actually lead to success. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about the traditional questions asked by most aspiring freight dispatchers, and then I'm going to talk about the questions that will actually lead to success. So what a lot of aspiring freight dispatchers ask is basically, how much does it cost to start a freight dispatching business? So to start a freight dispatching business, the only thing that you really need is a cell phone, internet connection, and a LLC, right? So basically everyone pretty much probably already has a cell phone and internet connection. So that's what's great about it. And then me as a business owner, any business that I start, I want to start a business where I don't have to go out and spend a lot of money. I want to already have everything that I need to start that business. Basically, I want to start a low overhead business. I don't want to start businesses that I have to go out and spend a lot of money before I start the business, because it may work out or it may not. So I don't want to come out a lot of money out of my pocket to get the business started. So I want businesses that's low overhead, like freight dispatching. So to start a freight dispatching business or any business, there's no set amount of money that you have to have, because everybody that starts a freight dispatching business is starting a business with different amounts of money. Every business owner is spending different amounts of money to start their business. So it's really not a true answer. There's no true answer that I can give you. I really can't say, oh, you have to have $500 or $5,000, right? Any business that was ever started, that business owner got started with a different amount of money, right? So for a freight dispatching business, I would say at the very minimal, you need a LLC, and that can vary state to state. It can vary anywhere from $100 to about $500. What I would recommend you do, go to your state's Secretary of State website, and it will let you know how much money that you need to pay for your LLC. But really what you need to get your freight dispatching business started is a validated offer. You need an offer that you know owner operators will hear that offer and they'll sign up for your business. And then you need to get traffic to that offer. So you need a validated offer and then traffic. So for me, looking forward to 2025, how I would start a business in 2025 is I would make sure I have a validated offer, and then I would make sure I know how to get traffic to that offer. That's the whole problem anyway. This is why 97% of freight dispatchers never sign up their first truck driver. And it's going to be the hardest thing ever to sign up that first truck driver. It's going to be the hardest thing ever for most people, because they don't have a validated offer and they don't know how to get traffic to that offer. So the great thing about having the internet and social media these days, before you get your LLC, your business bank account, before you get your EIN number, you can start with creating a validated offer. You can start with creating an offer that's so good that owner operator truck drivers can't say no to, and then you can get traffic to that offer. And once you have that, you have a business. So I would get my LLC, business bank account, I would get everything after that, because I know I have an offer that I'm offering to my potential drivers that they are showing interest in, that they want to sign up with. So basically, if I put an offer out there and then people have interest in my business idea, that they want to know more and sign up with me, I know if a couple people want to do that, there's hundreds and thousands of people in the market that would also agree to do that. From there, I just need to get more traffic. I need to get more people's eyes on what I'm offering to the market. So that's the great thing. You don't need to waste any money on your LLC, marketing, any of that. You need to have a validated offer and a way to get traffic to the offer. And that's basically what I'm teaching in the boot camp. Before you go out and waste time, energy, and money on unnecessary marketing ideas, I teach you from day one to come up with a validated offer. Basically, I help you validate that offer. I check it out the block, right? I check the box and I say, like, that offer is good enough. I know from my 7 years of experience in this business, if you market that offer, owner operator truck drivers are going to want to sign up with your business. That's what you need to have first before you do anything else. Because if you don't have that, you don't have a business. You're just going to waste your money on the LLC. That's what I see so many people doing these days, wasting their money on the LLC, wasting their money on paying for a logo, all these things, wasting their money on paying for a website, right? Because you don't have a validated offer going on the website. So to reiterate that question, how much money does it take to start a freight dispatching business? Everyone is starting with a different amount of money. What I would do is I would get a validated offer. And by validated offer, I mean an offer that's so good, that's better than what everyone else is offering, that you actually attract drivers. Once you have that, you have a business. Having an LLC doesn't make you a business owner, right? Because you can have the LLC, that doesn't mean you're going to make revenue. Being a business owner to me is about generating revenue. If you ain't generating revenue, I don't know what you're doing, right? So I'm all about generating revenue. I'm all about teaching ideas to generate revenue. Another question I get a lot is, where do I find drivers, right? You can find drivers at truck stops. There's hundreds and thousands of truck stops around the country. You can go there and find a driver, right? You can get on social media and find a driver. You can get a list of owner operators off the FMCSA website and cold call them and find a driver. But how do I find a driver is the wrong question to be asking, because you can go many different places and find drivers. Just because you find someone who is a truck driver doesn't mean they want to sign up for your freight dispatching business. If you have a validated offer, they want to sign up for your freight dispatching business. So many people are just interested in where do they find drivers, but you can find them all day long. That don't mean they're interested in what you have to offer. So that's really the wrong question to be asking, but 97% of people ask that question. And after I talk about these questions, I'm going to talk about the questions that you should be asking. So just hang on in there. But I want to tell you guys why 97% of freight dispatchers fail, because they're asking the wrong questions. So another question a lot of freight dispatching business owners ask is, how much money can I make as a freight dispatcher, right? So any business that you start, the money that you make is unlimited. The only limitation in the revenue that you generate is based off of the ideas that you execute on. Take, for example, freight dispatcher A, who attracts and signs up 5 drivers, and then they think they can't take on any more drivers, right? That's being an employee, right? But being a business owner, you are never limited in income. You are only limited by your own ideas. So if you have freight dispatcher A who attracts and signs up those first 5 drivers, and then they believe that they can't take on anymore, their income is limited by their ideas, right? So at 5 drivers, they're going to limit and cut off their income. Take freight dispatcher B, who concentrates on marketing and sales. And then once they get up to 5 drivers and they don't believe they can be able to manage any more drivers by themselves, and then they think of an idea as in hiring other dispatchers to work for them. And then from there, they can sign on more trucks and hire more dispatchers to work for them, and their income is unlimited. That's really being a business owner, right? So as a business owner, in any business that you start, you never have a cap on the income that you can make. The only cap is your own ideas, right? So any business, including freight dispatching, your revenue that you can make is unlimited, right? So for me, what I believe as a freight dispatch business owner, you want to think of the right ideas. You want to have a validated offer. You want to have a UVP, a unique value proposition, so you can attract drivers. You want to be able to attract unlimited amount of drivers and then hire dispatchers to work for you. And then your income is unlimited. So in any business that you start, I would never say, oh, you can only make $5,000. You can only make $10,000 a month. You can only make $50,000 per month. No, as you grow your business and bring on more drivers and hire more dispatchers, your income is unlimited. And this is what you want to be doing as a business owner. Another question that I get is, do I need a motor carrier number? So no, you do not need a motor carrier number, which is an MC number. A motor carrier number is required for trucking companies. As a freight dispatcher, you're more like a consultant to the trucking companies that you're working with, and you don't need a motor carrier number. So I want to stop and answer one question right now. Is this still a good business to start, right? So any business, right? So I'll say this: once you start one successful business, you're never going to ask that question again, right? Because your business don't have anything to do with what's going on in the market. By you coming up with a better idea than the market and offering that idea to your potential customers, you're going to attract customers to you. So it's only up to you. It's only up to what you think of, the ideas you think of to bring value to your customer. And being a business owner, what you want to do is you want to take a look at the market before you start your business. You want to do some market research and see what others are doing. Then you want to offer a better idea, and that's going to attract customers to you. So there will never be a bad time to start any business if you have the right idea, right? And one thing I'll tell you is owner operators, they need to know, like, and trust you, right? Before an owner operator signs up with your freight dispatching business, they need to know, like, and trust you. So what I would tell you to do is just go do some market research, put yourself in the shoes of an owner operator looking for a dispatcher, and then tell me, or answer that question for yourself. Answer the question as to how many dispatchers do you feel like you can know, like, and trust before you sign up with their services after you do your market research. So what I'm saying is, in today's industry, in today's market, why most people don't get customers, because they don't think of a system to get owner operators to know, like, and trust you before they sign up for your services. So basically, the whole reason an owner operator truck driver is going to want to use you as a freight dispatcher is because they like what you're putting out there. They feel like they know, like, and trust you. And then that's when they're going to be interested in your brand or interested in your company, and they want to get on a phone call with you. But the way most freight dispatchers market their service, they don't get owner operators to know, like, and trust them. I tell my students that I'm mentoring in my mentorship programs all the time is most freight dispatchers are down in the conversion stage. It's just begging for owner operators, begging for truck drivers to sign up with you. Just like I started my freight dispatching business, you only have to have a better offer than the rest of the market, and you would draw owner operators to sign up for your freight dispatching business. So what tools? Most people ask, what tools do you need to get started? Most people ask, do you need a website? You ask about all these different services. How I believe most people ask about services like a website or a customer relationship management tool. So most people ask about tools that other businesses produce for you to buy into. And then you look at all those different tools and you wonder if you need them. And most new business owners never think about that you are the ultimate tool. There's nothing else somebody else can make that's a better tool than yourself, right? So by advertising your business is what's going to get owner operators to sign up with you. So actually, you don't need a website. You don't need a CRM program. You don't need any of that. You are the ultimate tool. You need to advertise yourself to get owner operators to sign up with you. So I'm going to get into the questions that you should be asking if you want to be led to success, right? The questions that you should be asking. And by the way, if you haven't yet, make sure you go to my website. I am still running a 50% off sale for Black Friday. I had a lot of people join in, yesterday, today, people are joining into that 50% off sale like crazy. So if you want to be able to get high level information, make sure you click the link below this video and enroll in my 50% off sale for my freight dispatcher bootcamp. So a question that people should be asking is, what unique value can I offer to drivers to stand out? So what I believe in any business that you start, most people are only going to ask the basic questions, because I believe most people are only trying to ask basic questions to make some money fast, right? Most people are just thinking about making some money. So they only ask basic questions, and they think that's going to lead to manifesting revenue, which it never will, right? You need to ask deeper questions, such as, what unique value can I offer to drivers to stand out? So what you need to do in any business, you need to focus on the pain points. You need to focus on your customers' biggest pain points, and you need to talk about those pain points and have solutions for those pain points. And then drivers going to want to sign up with you. So what I see a major pain point in trucking are health issues, is mental health, right? But nobody's focusing on that. What I see is all across the industry, not only dispatchers, but nobody is focusing on the pain, on the health issues that comes with being an owner operator, right? And a real good tip is, like in freight dispatching, most people are going to come into this business only focusing so much on dispatching, right? But as a freight dispatcher, the main thing you do is being a dispatcher, right? So what I would do is I would try to offer additional services. So this way I get over the market. So you need to take a holistic approach. You need to think about dispatching, increasing revenue. Like we say, health is wealth, right? But I don't see any dispatchers focusing on the health of their owner operator truck drivers. So what I would do is if I couldn't do it, I would bring in like a personal trainer, into my business and make videos, offering exercises or offering, weight loss ideas or offering dieting plans to truck drivers along with the dispatching services, right? Because I don't see anyone doing that. And if I know, especially if I get on video and talk about those pain points, then that is going to attract truck drivers to me. And I also talk about dispatching, but I talk about health and wellness also. So, but that's a unique value proposition, a UVP, something I'm offering that's unique to the market that others aren't offering. Another question that most freight dispatchers don't ask is, how can I create a consistent pipeline of driver leads, right? So if you don't think about how you can create a consistent pipeline of drivers coming into your business, you will never have a successful freight dispatching business, or you'll never have any successful business. Any business that you start is like a vacuum. It's like an engine. You want to be like a vacuum. You want to bring as many leads in as possible and then close on as many leads, right? So you want to open, it's brand awareness. Brand awareness is like the top of the vacuum. That's where you're going to bring in leads. Every lead isn't going to sign up for your business. So that's why you have to concentrate on bringing in as many leads as possible, right? And then you want to consistently bring in leads. You don't want to only bring in 4 or 5 truck drivers into your company. You want to consistently close on truck drivers every week, every month that you own your business, right? You want to consistently increase the amount of drivers you're signing up for your freight dispatching business, because that's going to consistently increase your revenue, right? So one thing I see with so many new business owners, they concentrate only on the end results. instead of what causes those results, right? This is why most people can't start successful freight dispatching businesses, because they only concentrate on what they want at the end, but they don't concentrate on the steps to make that happen. Another question that we should be asking as freight dispatch business owners is, what KPIs should I track to measure success? What key performance indicators should I track to measure success? So basically in my freight dispatcher bootcamp, what I teach you is the KPIs that you need to track to measure the health of your business. So a key performance indicator that you need to track to measure the health of your business is how many sales calls you're getting on per week. You need to actually track and write down, oh, I got on 5 sales calls this week. Because if you know you got on 5 sales calls this week and you signed up 1 driver, my focus would be getting on 10 sales calls the next week and closing 2 drivers, right? So you want to track how many sales calls you're closing, how many sales calls you're getting on each week, and then how many sales calls that you're converting drivers on each week. So I guarantee you 97% of the people that start a freight dispatching business, they are never thinking about how many sales calls they can get on. And if you're not thinking about how many sales calls that you can get on, or if you're not thinking about how do you even get on sales calls with truck drivers, how are you ever going to sign up a truck driver to your freight dispatching business? If you're only thinking about how do you create a freight dispatching agreement and you're not thinking about how do you get on sales calls, 97% of the people who start freight dispatching businesses are thinking about how do you create a freight dispatching agreement. 3% of the people who start freight dispatching businesses are thinking about how do I get on sales calls. You want to think about how do you get on sales calls, because getting on sales calls make money. You don't even have to have a freight dispatching agreement to get on your first sales call. Everyone who joins my freight dispatcher bootcamp, they don't have a freight dispatch agreement. They usually get on their first sales call before they have a freight dispatching agreement. Because what's the use of getting a freight dispatch agreement if you don't know how to sign up drivers? You don't know the right words to say to close drivers on a sales call. You're never going to have a need to send them a freight dispatching agreement. And I'm telling the truth here, so many people think about a freight dispatch agreement, but they don't think about how to get on a sales call. So most people, I'll just go ahead and say it, most people who try to start freight dispatch agreements, they go out and they get a freight dispatch agreement and they will never, ever send it to 1 truck driver, because you'll never get 1 truck driver that asks. You'll never get 1 truck driver to say, yeah, I'm interested in your services. Can you send me your freight dispatch agreement? You will never need it. So what I want to do in my bootcamp is teach you the steps to get drivers interested in your business before I even talk to you about a freight dispatch agreement. If you don't have drivers interested in what you're offering, I don't care about you having a freight dispatch agreement, because we're wasting time. I don't like to waste time. I like to talk about the exact things that's going to bring drivers into your company and that's going to make you some money, right? And I know it's a step-by-step process, and we don't execute on that step-by-step process, you're not going to get the end result. So another question is that you need to be asking is, how can I ensure long-term relationships with drivers? See, the questions that you need to be asking are always going to be deeper questions, right? The surface level questions isn't going to lead you to success. If the surface level questions led you to success, everyone would be successful in this business, but that's simply not the way it is. So you need a system. You need to get drivers to trust you. You need to actually be able to get higher paying loads for these drivers. And as you increase their revenue, you're going to get drivers to stay with you for the long term. So what I'll teach my students to do in the boot camp is to consistently increase revenue of their truck drivers. And I teach them to get their owner operators to a point in their business where they can forecast their revenue. So what I realized in a trucking business, owner operators, you never hear owner operators talking about forecasting their revenue, right? Any business, you have to be able to forecast your revenue. It's cause and effect. You want to be able to take certain steps in your business And those steps that you take, those steps need to lead to you forecasting your revenue. So in a trucking business, or if a trucking business made, let's say, $100,000 in quarter one, right? Any business needs to be able to forecast their revenue, and then they need to, if they know they made $100,000 in quarter one and quarter two, by what you implement before quarter two hits, you need to be able to say, I project my revenue, or I forecast my revenue to be $150,000 in quarter two. Because if you can't do that, your business won't survive, because that clearly shows you're not taking steps before to make certain amount of revenue. A business is about taking steps and thinking of ideas actually to increase your revenue. So what I realize about so many owner operators, they're not taking certain steps within their trucking business to actually increase revenue. So basically what I teach the dispatchers in my boot camp to do is to implement certain steps into trucking businesses and explain this to their owner operators, so their owner operators can actually forecast their revenue, right? That's what business is. In a business, you want to be able to forecast your revenue. Another question that we need to be asking as freight dispatchers is, how do I build a scalable business model, right? So you want to always grow. If your business isn't growing, that means you're declining. So you want to know certain steps that you can take to actually scale your business. You want your income to actually be increasing every month. The same for a trucking business. A trucking business's income should be increasing every month. But what most people do, most people leave everything up to the market, leave everything up to how the market's moving. But as a business owner, you have to think of ideas to implement into your business to separate yourself from the market and to increase your revenue. So if you're not taking these steps, if you're thinking about the basic steps most people are thinking about when you start your freight dispatching business, if you're thinking about those things, you won't think about the deeper questions to actually lead to success. But if you guys got any questions on this video, make sure you comment down below. I have a few more hours before I'm ending my 50% off sale for my freight dispatcher bootcamp. But once you join that bootcamp, you don't have to ask many questions, right? Because of course, if you're new to a business, the questions that you're asking are the questions that you think you need to be asking. But most of the time, those questions won't lead to success. What you need is a mentor with proven results that can tell you exactly what to do to lead to success. And then you're going to basically follow those steps and you're going to see the success for yourself. So you're not going to have to ask any questions. You can just follow that proven system. But I thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you have a great rest of your holiday weekend. And I hope to work with you one-on-one.